So there's a track right now. The thing is,
110.
if I
In slider,
speed
130.
this up and play it, nothing is going to change.
110.
Which is
7 bars, 2
bit
beats.
useless.
7 bars,
So
4 beats.
why
4 6.
don't
Out of
we
control bar. 1 bar, 1 beat. 1.
Enable flex time. And I have been trying to do this since May, by the way, and I've even had somebody cited who teaches Logic and GarageBand in school, and he didn't know how to do this. So I need to ring him and tell him as well. I recently discovered, while sitting on Team Talk, how to actually enable flex and what that does. So first things first is you press Command F, and it doesn't talk. But it's not meant to because I don't know why. I guess it comes up in a funny window that you can't see. The next thing to do is have your audio track highlighted, which I do because I cannot play the keyboard because there's nothing to play.
Untitled tracks. Control bar.
If you are worried about it,
Tracks.
jump into your tracks header, your tracks here,
In tracks.
go to the tracks header,
Tracks. In tracks. Tracks contents. Tracks header. In track 1. You just never know.
track 1, you just never know. That's the audio track that I'm using. And we'll jump out of this now,
Out. Inspector.
go to the inspector,
In inspector.
and then you'll see all these blank buttons, and they're very irritating.
This item has no help tag.
They don't even have help tags.
Region. You just never know. .1.
Edit text. Button.
However, the way to know that you need to expand this thing, and there's two of them that you need to expand really, is if when you get to this
You just never know. .1.
Edit text.
edit text field, there's another blank button to the right of that.
Button.
The table is not visible, and you need to go back to the beginning
You
Button.
and hit this,
press.
Button.
which expands this thing, which doesn't talk.
Region. You just never know. .1.
Edit text. Table.
And here's the table.
In loop. Dash. Dash.
Now, we don't want
Dash.
this just yet, but later on, we're going to come back to this table because I will show you what it's like when you quantize audio. But I like to have this table expanded because I use it a lot. So let's back out
Out of
of the
inspector.
table.
Tracks. Inspect. In region. You just never.
Table. Button.
Track. You just never know.
Edit text.
You just never know.
Channel split group.
And there's the channel strip,
Stereo out.
which
You
we
just
are
know.
used to seeing.
You just track.
Button.
Track.
Button. Table.
Row 5 of 8.
Button.
So I'm going left.
Table.
Here's
Row
the
5 of 8.
table we came out
Dash.
of.
Dash. Selected.
Button.
And to the right is the other blank button. Now, I believe, and we'll find out, that this is the one we want because it contains the flex stuff. It's another of these hidden tables until you expand it type deals.
Press.
Click.
Button.
Track. You just never know.
Table.
Yes, another blank table.
You just never know.
Channel split
And to
group.
the right of that table is this channel strip group. So we go into this table.
Table.
In.
Table.
Row 1 of 5. Icon.
Image.
Selected. Row 1.
There's
Selected.
an icon, which I don't know what that actually does.
This item has no help tag. You are currently on a text element inside of the table. To navigate the cells within this table, press Control.
Oh, it doesn't tell me any useful information. I did VO Shift H and VO Shift N for November, by the way, just to see if I could garner anything useful, and I cannot.
Image.
Go to the right. There's an image.
Channel.
Channel.
Audio 1. Dim.
Audio 1.
Freeze mode. Pre-fader. Cue reference. Dim checked. Flex mode. Off.
Off button.
Flex mode is off. Now, for something like this, you would want flex mode to be polyphonic. If you were going to record like a percussive thing that is perhaps a bongo or a congo or vocal, then you would choose monophonic. And there are some options in here that do other very strange things, and you can play with parameters and have lots of fun. There is one slight error. One slight issue, I wanted to say, with Sierra at the moment, that certain sliders within Logic, when you go to interact with them, they just bounce you right back out. So it's kind of an issue. But when they work well. We don't need to do anything with this except for turn it on and choose polyphonic as the option. I will go through the options and just so you can hear what they are.
Menu check mark.
Off.
Off is the default.
Flex pitch.
Flex pitch, which when you adjust the tempo will adjust the pitch and the speed at the same time. Very kind of old school and obvious.
Flex time. Monophonic.
Time monophonic, which I already talked about.
Flex time. Slicing.
Slicing. I think it tries to slice by transient.
Flex time. Rhythmic.
Rhythmic. Might be for drums, I think. I haven't really had occasion to play with too many of these, by the way.
Flex time. Polyphonic.
Polyphonic.
Flex time. Speed FX.
Speed FX. I think that was the old school speed up algorithm.
Flex time. Tempophone FX.
Tempophone, and so was that.
Check mark.
Off. Someone could correct me. So I want to go up
Flex time. Polyphonic.
3 and press enter.
Polyphonic.
Off button.
Complex. Checked.
Checkbox.
And if you don't have the complex checkbox checked, then it kind of doesn't do anything great for you. And I don't really know what happens when you uncheck it other than the sound sucks, because there are no options that I could find that explain it. And it doesn't expose any sliders or anything like that. So what it actually does is unclear,
1 bar, 1 beat.
but it does do a thing. So if I now hit play, because we're at 110 already, there is no change. Let's increase this tempo now.
Item choose menu 1
110. Temp in slide.
Let's go
160.
160. Not very nice.
140. 130. 120.
Maybe a little average. 120 is quite okay. If you know the track, you'll know it's been expanded. Shrunk. But if you don't really know the track, or if you are using it in a mix, you could probably get away with it. Let's drop it all the way down to 5 beats a minute.
100.
Now you get into some Brian Eno kind of territory with ambience and very weird noises. So all you do now is you drop a delay on it, a very strange delay, maybe from the Space Designer reverb settings, like Space D. And you have yourself a great time. You could even just throw a reverse on the track and have people not even have a clue where you got that from, or how, or why, or anything. Much fun, right? Got messages coming in. I'm going to leave it like this while I read the messages. Oh man, the piano scares my face. Ah, help. Okay, let's go up to some reasonable amount.
65.
65. Turn off the metronome. That Korg snare drum is very long-winded now, but it's kind of funny. And the clap is gorgeous.
95.
95. There are hardly any artifacts at 95. So we're down by 15 by my count. Because it was 110 down at 95. So, wait. Yeah, it is 15. I thought I was stupid for a minute. So let's try 135.
135.
The only reason you can tell that is because the hi-hats are a little bit crunchy. But otherwise, even strings are some of the things that suffer the worst when you do things like that. The absolute worst. It's terrifying what it does to strings. A lot of these algorithms. So for it to do that and do it that well is quite something. So let's leave it at 135 and play and change the algorithm and see what we can do here. First things first, actually, let me use the item chooser and type in FLEX. Press enter.
Flex.
Text.
Checked.
Because it takes me right back to where I was. Because, of course, I was in the tempo slider, and to get back to that would be meaning to stop interacting with the tempo slider, stop interacting with the control bar, stop interacting with the control toolbar, go and interact with the inspector, go and interact with that table and find it. So the item chooser, VOI, is your best friend in this situation. Absolutely the best friend you can have. Because if you know what you need and know the letters of what you need to type, you can get around this thing absolutely beautifully. This is a tip I picked up from Gary Redfern Gray over at blindlogic.org when I first started out using Logic in May. So I haven't been using it long enough to be fluent in it, like a spoken language, the language of Logic. But I'm getting there, and I intend to be there, or at least a facsimile thereof, within the next 1.5 to 2 years, because I really like Logic. It's a pain in my ass sometimes, but when I get it, and when I can do something I want to do with it, it's beautiful.
Dash. Flex. Checked. Gain. 50%.
Right.
More. Collapsed. Mute. Unchecked. Loop.
Where are we
Checked.
actually?
More. Gain. Check. Flex. Dash. Flex. Checked.
Checkbox.
Oh, that's the on-off for the track. Okay, Command F turns that on in that table. So actually, let's...
Item chooser menu. 3 items.
Flex mode. Show / hide. Flex mode.
that's what I really
Flex
need.
mode. Polyphonic.
Pop-up button.
So let's
One bar, one.
start the track from the top.
Movie.
Remember, we're at 135.
Menu check mark.
Flex time. Speed. FX.
Speed FX.
Speed.
So now if I slow it down by using item chooser, type TEMP, press enter, interact with the tempo slider.
65. 75.
Yeah, it's pretty joyful stuff.
85. 90. 105. 90.
Oh man, the batteries are dying.
95. 94. 93. 92. 91.
90 BPM there. So that does what that does.
Outside.
So let's leave it there at 90.
3 items.
Flex mode.
Flex
mode.
again.
Speed. FX.
Pop-up button. Menu check.
Flex time. Tempophone. FX.
Tempophone, which is now. That's a nasty algorithm. If that's all Logic had to offer, I would never ever touch this with a 10-foot Logic pole, for obvious reasons.
Menu check mark.
Flex pitch.
Flex pitch. Didn't we just...
Logic Pro X busy. Flex pitch.
Oh, that's another old algorithm. Not very nice either, by all accounts.
Form track 0%.
Slider.
Oh, I have sliders here.
In slide 5%. 10%. 15%. 20%.
Not sure what they do.
Hold on, you just never know.
Channels table.
You just never know. Stereo out.
Channels table.
Oh man, it's lost my place.
Items 24. 4.
Flex mode. Flex pitch. Flex mode. Flex mode. Flex pitch. Form track. 20%. Performance shift. 50%.
Performance
Slide.
shift. Okay.
Hold on, you just never know.
Oh dear.
Item chooser menu.
Oh dear.
Flex mode. Flex pitch. Flex mode. Flex mode. Flex pitch.
That's just frightening.
Flex time. Monophonic. Flex time. Flex time.
Right, monophonic on a non-monophonic thing.
Passive. Jet.
Checkbox.
You know what it's trying?
Jet.
I'll give it its trying. If I check this checkbox which says percussive,
Jet.
Checkbox.
it's kind of still trying, but it's not that friendly. So,
Unjet. Passive. Monophonic. Press. Flex time. Slicing.
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 Button.
So now it tries to take little clips of the track and fill in the gaps and make slices from them so that it keeps uniform. Not a particularly nice job, by the way, and you can turn down the gaps,
Fill gap. Jet.
Checkbox.
fill in gap. If I uncheck this checkbox, so it's now not filling in the gap, and it sounds like the track is broken or my Mac is about to bath itself and fall down a well. Oh, the track ran
One
out.
bar. One beat. One tick.
So it nearly did do that. Right,
Fill gaps. Slicing. Flex mode. Slicing.
Menu check.
Flex time. Rhythmic.
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 Ah, it's drunk. I don't know why I'm even bothering to be here. My name is Mr. F. Rhythmic and I'm flexible. It does, it just makes the track sound absolutely drunk. There it is.
Flex time. Polyphonic.
And we're back to polyphonic, where it all is at, guys and girls.
Item chooser menu 100.
90. Tempo.
Slider.
4. Signature number beats.
Slider.
Seek 90. Temp into 120. 110.
Alrighty.
Out. 17
So
bars.
we've done
3
that
636
much.
ticks.
Isn't that joyful? Joyful stuff.